Chapter 52. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Silva hurried to Nara Hikari, Minister, urgent news from the border of Wind Country. Silva handed the scroll to Nara Hikari after seeing him. Nara Hikari inputted chakra and opened it directly. He browsed through it and slowly closed it. It seems that the Sand Village is the first to get restless. Minister, Hideyoshi has fought with Chiyo and Ebizo of Sand Village. What was the result? Chiyo's poison is too difficult to deal with, and Hideyoshi can't take advantage for a while, and the two sides are deadlocked at the border of Wind Country. Did Hiruzen send anyone over? No. Inform Hideyoshi to be careful and not to rush into the trap. Yes. What about other directions? There is still no movement in the land of water, but the third Mizukage appeared at the border and disappeared quickly. The land of earth and the land of lightning have now stockpiled their troops at the border. The third Mizukage. Nara Hikari recalled that in the original Naruto, the third Mizukage was just a supporting role. The third Mizukage was a shadow who yearned for peace, that is, he had no ambitions and his strength was not top-notch, which led to many ninjas defecting from the Hidden Mist village during the third's reign. Nara Hikari actually didn't know whether he really didn't chase the defected ninjas, or if he didn't have the absolute strength to suppress the entire Hidden Mist village. Minister, the Hokage seems to be deliberately avoiding our people. They will bypass our base after obtaining intelligence. Let him go, sooner or later he will regret it. In fact, if it weren't for the sake of his family, Sarutobi Biwako and Uzumaki Mido, he would have already turned against Konoha and went it alone. How could he endure until now? Besides, with the power he currently has, it is not difficult to fight the 5 major countries alone. Nara Hikari felt that it was time to have a good talk with the clan leader. Anything else? Not for now. Well, send one person to support Hideyoshi. Minister, how about I go? No need, let Hataki stay overnight. Yes, Minister. After Silbai left, Nara Hikari merged into the shadow under his feet. Nara Hikari found Nara Mitsuru, the head of the Nara family, and the two chatted for a whole day before they ended. No one knows what they talked about. The next day, the clan leader held a family meeting. Those who attended were all high-level members of the Nara clan. Nara Hikari also attended this clan meeting. After some discussion, the Nara high-level officials also felt that the current Konoha was no longer the Konoha where Hashirama used to be. The internal friction of Konoha made the smart people of the Nara family somewhat disappointed with Konoha. They agreed to the decision of the clan leader to leave Konoha. Besides, the current Nara family is no longer comparable to the Warring States period. They can still get the quiet life they want after leaving Konoha, of course. This is all thanks to Nara Hikari. Nara Hikari showed all his current strength at the meeting, whether it is personal strength or the strength in his hands. The Nara family is completely convinced. There are even high-level suggestions that the next clan leader Nara Hikari is the best choice. However, Nara Hikari refused. After the clan meeting, the clan members found that the clan leader began to organize people to move the livestock and herbs in the clan away. Some clan members also began to be sent out one after another. Although the Nara family did it very secretly, the paper could not cover the fire. After all, it was still discovered by the spies that Mizukado and had arranged near the Nara clan. However, 7 days had passed when they discovered it. The spies reported it to Mizukado-en, who then reported it to Hiruzen. When Hiruzen learned the news, he had a bad feeling. He immediately sent the Umbu to the Nara clan to check. He found that the place was already deserted. Fortunately, Nara Hikari did not leave. This made Hiruzen feel a little relieved. However, Mizukado-en, who was courting death, did not want to let it go. He found a reason to impeach Nara Hikari's right as an advisor. Nara Hikari simply refused. Mizukado-en gathered the families that stood on Hiruzen's side and deprived Nara Hikari of his position as the former Umbu minister. Nara Hikari also refused. By the way, the old Umbu building was demolished. In this way, Nara Hikari became a complete idler. Every day, he would go to Uzumaki Mido's house to sit for a while, and then return home to accompany his wife. When he learned that Nara Hikaru was forced to resign as an advisor and the former head of the Umbu, Uzumaki Mido became a little angry. He cursed Tobarama for being blind. Actually accepted such a student. Hiruzen seldom comes to her now. She also knows that if you sit in a high position for too long, you will lose your original intention. Uzumaki Mito can only sigh helplessly, and, don't be angry. It's actually good now. What's good about it? If it weren't for you, Konoha would be what it is now. Uzumaki Mito sat on a chair and looked at the painting wall in the distance. There were 3 paintings hanging on it. The first one was Hashirama's family of 6, the second one was Tobarama and 6 disciples, the third one was Tobarama, Uzumaki Mito, Nara Hikari, Tsunade and the family of Nawaki. Okay, Aunt, I'm going back. Yeah. Uzumaki Mito watched Nara Hikari leave, then picked up a clean cloth, walked to the wall and wiped the photos on the wall that had been wiped shiny. Hey. A heavy sigh from Uzumaki Mito came from the room. Just when Nara Hikari thought things would calm down for a while, a bad news came out. Uzumaki Mito is dying. Nara Hikari merged into the shadow and instantly came to Mito's house. When he opened the door, he saw Uzumaki Mito sweating profusely. Aunt, how are you? I can't suppress the 9 tails in my body anymore. I must find the next Jinchuriki candidate as soon as possible. Uzumaki Mito said with difficulty, and just at this time, Yutain Koharu also arrived. She walked in front of Uzumaki Mito and suddenly started crying. This puzzled Uzumaki Mito. Why do you cry when you see me? A tear fell on Uzumaki Mito. In Uzumaki Mito's shocked eyes, the 9 tails that was rioting in her body suddenly calmed down. Her weak body actually began to feel less uncomfortable, and it was slowly getting better. What's going on? A special ability, just like the bloodline limit, can cure diseases with tears. There is such a bloodline limit. Uzumaki Mito looked at her hands, and the chakra in her body was also restored a lot. The hidden injuries in her body were also restored a lot. Are you okay, Koharu? Nara Hikari came to Koharu Yutain and squatted down. It's okay. Koharu Yutain smiled slightly, and Nara Hikari's pale face didn't look like it was okay. Thank you, Koharu, I feel much better, no need for treatment. Uzumaki Mito also saw Koharu Yutain's fatigue. She understood that this ability must have a price. And, although your body has improved after my treatment, you have lost too much in your body after suppressing the 9 tails for so many years, and you need to take good care of it. Yeah. Uzumaki Mito nodded. And, has anyone chosen the Jinchuriki? Uzumaki Kushina, among all the clan members at present, this child is the most suitable. Uzumaki Kushina. Yes. Chapter 53. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day, under the strong request of Uzumaki Mito, the Uzumaki clan members began to prepare for the transfer of the 9 tails Jinchuriki. In the cave in the back mountain of Konoha village, the Uzumaki clan members had arranged all the preparations before the sealing formation was performed. Soon, Uzumaki Kushina was sent over by a couple. The current patriarch of the Uzumaki clan placed Uzumaki Kushina in the center of the sealing formation. It's ready, we can start. Okay. Uzumaki Mito walked to the stone platform in the middle of the cave and lay down. A dozen Uzumaki clan members surrounded Uzumaki Mito. One of the Uzumaki clan members came to Mito. Chakra surged all over his body, and he stretched out his hand and pressed it on Uzumaki Mito's abdomen for symbol seal. The seal symbol on Uzumaki Mito's abdomen was exposed and began to rotate counterclockwise. Soon, the fox head of the 9-tailed fox, which had a fierce expression, slowly stretched out from the seal symbol. The 9-tailed fox kept struggling, and the cave was filled with violent red chakra. Under the operation of this Uzumaki tribe member, the 9-tailed fox composed of chakra was quickly completely pulled out of Uzumaki Mito's body. 8 diagram seal. The moment the 9-tailed fox completely separated from Uzumaki Mito, this tribe member immediately released another seal technique again and quickly pressed it on Uzumaki Kushina's belly, a seal rune similar to Uzumaki Mito's appeared quickly on Uzumaki Kushina's belly. Then the seal symbol began to rotate clockwise, until the entire angry 9-tailed fox was completely immersed in Uzumaki Kushina's abdomen. The tribe member was relieved. He walked to the side and sat on the ground. Observe the condition of this child. Be careful that the 9-tailed fox will take the opportunity to riot. He closed his eyes and began to recover the consumed chakra. Nara Hikaru and Tsunade, who returned to Konoha, first looked at the condition of Uzumaki Mito. When they found that the latter's breathing was stable, they were relieved and looked at Uzumaki Kushina in the center of the cave. At this time, Uzumaki Kushina, who was still a child, did not cry during the whole process under the comfort of the Uzumaki clan members. But just slept quietly. Okay, the transfer has been completed, send Mito back to rest. The Uzumaki clan leader gave an order. Yes, clan leader. 2 female Uzumaki clan members came forward to support Uzumaki Mito and walked out of the cave, but when they reached the entrance of the cave, Uzumaki Mito suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood. His body also softened. This scared the surrounding Uzumaki clan members. Everyone quickly came to Uzumaki Mito's side. Mito-sama, are you okay? The clan leader asked anxiously. His expression was very worried. I'm fine. Uzumaki Mito spoke with difficulty and coughed lightly. Utane Koharu came over. Leave it to me. Utane Koharu was about to use the power of the fruit. No need, Koharu, I want to go home now. Uzumaki Mito blocked Utane Koharu's outstretched hands, and then looked at Tsunade and Nawaki's family. Well, Grandma, we will take you home. Tsunade held back her tears, walked forward and picked up Uzumaki Mito and disappeared on the spot. Nawaki quickly followed. Nara Hikaru and Utane Koharu also left the cave together. When they left, sighs came from the cave, accompanied by loud crying. Everyone accompanied Uzumaki Mito back to where she and Hashirama lived. Uzumaki Mito smiled at the photos on the wall. Tsunade Nawaki, after I leave. If Hikari wants to leave Konoha, you should leave with me. Grandma, you will be fine, you will be fine. Nawaki burst into tears. Tsunade also cried like a tearful person. Utane Koharu silently shed tears. Finally I can go see you. Uzumaki Mito's voice became weaker and weaker. Hashirama. Uzumaki Mito's expression was sometimes relieved, sometimes happy, and finally her hand slowly dropped. Grandma. Tsunade, Nawaki, cried even harder. Utane Koharu put her hand on Uzumaki Mito's chest and injected chakra, and the fruit ability was activated at the same time. Unfortunately, it was useless. Uzumaki Mito had exhausted the last bit of vitality. Nara Hikari sighed as he looked at the dead Uzumaki Mito. Tears also flowed down. Uzumaki Mito's physical condition was different from that of Bingyu. Because Bingyu did not suppress the tailed beast for a long time, his body was not seriously damaged by the violent tailed beast chakra, so after the 4 tails were peeled off, they were treated in time. The chance of dying from treatment is still very small, but Uzumaki Mito is different. She used her chakra to suppress the 9 tails for too many years, and her body had been destroyed by the furious 9 tails, and the 9 tails has the most violent chakra among all the tailed beasts. If it weren't for the special physique of the Uzumaki clan, it might not be able to withstand the evil chakra riot of the 9 tails. Utane Koharu wanted to treat her, but she was stopped by Nara Hikari. Aunt has been lonely for too long. Forget it, this may be the best result for Aunt. Yeah. Tsunade, Nawaki, I will arrange Aunt's funeral. Thank you, Brother Hikari. The news of Uzumaki Mito's death spread quickly throughout Konoha the next day. All the older generations of Konoha came to attend Uzumaki Mito's funeral. The tombstone of Uzumaki Mito was full of people. The Uzumaki clan members had already burst into tears. Nara Hikari looked at Hiruzen, Mito Kato-en, and Akimichi Tofu in the crowd. They also saw Nara Hikari, Gu Hikari-sama, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Marino Izumi greeted him respectfully. Yeah, when Mito Uzumaki's funeral was over, Nara Hikari did not leave, but stood behind and looked at Tsunade's family who were still crying. Hikari, thank you. Nawaki's parents stood up and came to Nara Hikari. Don't be so polite. Aunt was very kind to me when she was alive. This is what I should do. If the Uzumaki family has any trouble in the future, you can come to me at any time. Thank you. Nawaki's father looked around. Have you really thought about it? Yeah, there is nothing worth remembering in Konoha anymore. Before my mother died, she wanted the Uzumaki clan to go with you, but some of the clan members didn't want to leave. It's okay. If you want to leave, you can go with me. If you don't want to leave, you don't have to force me. Yeah, okay. Nara Hikari looked at the mother of Rope Tree who suddenly fainted. Send her back, don't hurt her body. Yes. Tsunade's family left first. Nara Hikari stood in front of the tombstone, and when he saw that everyone around him had left, he sat down directly. Nara Hikari did not return to the Nara family until dark. At this time, Nara Hikari's wives were all waiting for him in the hall. Get ready and leave Konoha tomorrow. Okay. Nara Hikari's wives did not object. Everyone turned around and went to pack up without a moment's hesitation. Nara Hikari looked at his parents. Father, mother, you won't blame me, right? Why blame you? The Nara clan finally lived a stable life, but soon they will follow me to live a life of displacement. Nara Wu heard his son's words, stepped forward and patted Nara Hikari on the shoulder. Your mother and I support your choice. No matter what happens in the future, you are our precious son and our pride. Thank you. Let's not talk about that as a family. We are also going to pack up. After Nara Hikari's parents left, Nara Hikari came to the yard and stared at the moon hanging in the sky in a daze. Chapter 54. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Hokage's office. An Umbu member hurriedly appeared in front of Hiruzen. Hokage-sama, something bad has happened. Goo. Hikari-sama has left. Left? Where did he go? Hikari-sama left the village. What? The Umbu brothers who are specifically monitoring Hikari-sama saw him leave the village this morning. Just by himself. There are also a group of women and dozens of carriages. Why didn't you stop him? We. How dare we? The Umbu's voice became smaller and smaller. How long has he been gone? Just left a few minutes ago. Hiruzen disappeared instantly after hearing this. The Umbu followed. Hiruzen appeared on the roof of the Hokage building, where was Nara Hikari's figure. Releasing the Kage-level chakra perception, he finally sensed the direction of Nara Hikari. He followed the Umbu who came behind him. 10 minutes later, Hiruzen arrived in front of Nara Hikari's convoy. You go first. Yes. Udatane Koharu just looked at Hiruzen and didn't say much, and walked directly past the Umbu. Hitsu, are you really going to leave? Yes. Why? Konoha has enough of you. Can you think about it again? No, I've thought about it. Do you want to stop me? Go back. I don't want our relationship to be too awkward. Hitsu, are you really going to give up the teacher's consciousness of fire? The will of fire? It's better to say it's Hiruzen's will. Hiruzen was silent. Okay, there's no point in talking anymore. Don't force me to beat you up. Your strength doesn't seem to be enough in front of me. Hiruzen clenched his fists. Nara Hikari instantly merged into the shadow under his feet. Hokage-sama. Do you want to? Forget it, let's go back. Hiruzen glanced at the direction where Nara Hikari left, turned and walked towards Konoha. Teacher, is my way of balance really wrong? I just want Konoha to be better. Am I really wrong? The Umbu members looked at Hiruzen's lonely back. They had already noticed that there was a gap between the advisor and the Hokage, but no one dared to persuade them. Hokage-sama, the chaos in the ninja world is coming. What should we do now? Now that Hikage-sama is gone, Konoha is afraid. Will Konoha lose without him? Nara Hikari. Hokage-sama, that's not what I meant. Okay, I have my own decision. You go and carry out the mission. Yes, Hokage-sama. When Nara Hikari chose to leave Konoha, many people in Konoha village also chose to leave with Nara Hikari. This made the Konoha high-level officials dumbfounded. First, 85 members of the old Umbu decided to follow Nara Hikari to leave, even some of the families behind the old Umbu members. Some of their members or the whole family followed Nara Hikari to leave. These included some members of the Uzumaki clan, some members of the Senju clan, the Hyuga Megumi clan, the Sarutobi Biwako clan, the Inazuka Kaori clan, the Aburame Toi clan, all members of the Kurama clan, all members of the Yuhi clan, all members of the Utaha clan, all members of the Haruno clan, and all members of the Hitaki clan. There is also the old Umbu orphanage created by Nara Hikari. With the departure of the Nara family, the Konoha Ino Shikacho combination was disbanded. Among those who left with Nara Hikari, only the family of Yamanaka Manshin and the family of Akimichi Yen, and more. Then a dozen members of the Yamanaka clan were willing to leave Konoha with Nara Hikari. Some members of the Akimichi clan who wanted to leave were forcibly stopped by Akimichi Tofu. The rest were civilians who were willing to leave with Nara Hikari. They accounted for the vast majority of them. Hataki Sakumo, Nishido, and Silbai were responsible for escorting them to the new clan land of the Nara family. Most of these civilians were family members who joined the old Umbu. as well as everyone in the Four-Beast Village. Just after Tsunade left, Kato Dan and Himiko also found Nara Hikari, and naturally followed Nara Hikari to leave. The teacher was leaving, and the two of them had no intention of staying. Yuan Yima, and Zoro, the three little ones also wanted to leave with Nara Hikari, but were stopped by their families. The three little ones had to return home obediently. It was the 7th day after Nara Hikari left Konoha. After attacking the Iron Kingdom, the Rain Kingdom sent out another large army. An attack was launched on the border of the Land of Fire. The restless Land of Thunder smelled the opportunity and followed closely to join the battlefield. The Land of Thunder took the route of the Land of Rain and swooped towards the border of the Land of Fire. The Land of Earth took advantage of the gap between Konoha to deal with the Land of Thunder and the Land of Rain, and launched an attack from both sides of the Land of Fire together with the Land of Wind. Hiruzen, who received intelligence of the border war, hurriedly gathered all the forces of Konoha, Jiraiya and Orochimaru, who had returned to the border between the Land of Iron and the Land of Fire, were recalled. The two of them were sent to the border between the Land of Earth, the Land of Wind and the Land of Fire to resist the ninja armies of the two countries. Marino Izumi continued to stay in the Land of Iron, ready to attack the Land of Fire at any time while the Land of Rain attacked the Land of Iron. Just when Hiruzen thought that the war was going on like this, the Land of Water, the Land of Grass, the Land of Bear, the Land of Deer, and the Land of Sound suddenly attacked the border of the Land of Fire. This time, Konoha was completely surrounded. Just when Konoha was in a state of panic, it was discovered that the target of the Water Country was not only the Fire Country, but also the Lightning Country. The Grass Country not only attacked the Fire Country, but also sent a part of its forces to attack the Earth Country. This made the third Tsuchika Janoki extremely angry, and he immediately sent a ninja army to counterattack the Grass Country. The Bear Country was also not quiet. When the Water Country was empty, it also attacked the Water Country, and the Whirlpool Country. The Bird Country, which had always been low-key, attacked the Wind Country. Now the entire Naruto world is in chaos. Nara Hikari was dumbfounded when he got the news. The Naruto battle circle is really chaotic. However, there are still benefits to the chaotic war, and Konoha's pressure is indeed much less. At this time, Nara Hikari had already brought his family to the new clan land of the Nara family, an uninhabited island on the sea, a huge island that is big enough to catch up with the Water Country. Nara Hikari was very satisfied with this place. Standing in his new home, he looked up and breathed in a breath of fresh air. You didn't do it too drastically. Udatain Koharu came to Nara Hikari. You're about to give birth, why did you run out? You consumed too much energy when you treated your aunt last time. It's okay, I know what's going on. You haven't answered me yet. Answer what? Nara Hikari looked down at Udatain Koharu's belly. He squatted down and touched it gently. You didn't call Hideyoshi back, and Kato Dan and Hiriko who came here together are also missing. Obviously you are hiding something from me. After all, it was my aunt's last wish, and Konoha cannot be destroyed in this war. What happens after that? After that? That's Hiruzen's own business. I can only do so much, and I've done my best. Ah. Don't sigh. It's not good for the fetus in your belly. The sea breeze is so strong, come back with me. Nara Hikaru gently grabbed Koharu Utain's wrist and brought her back to the room. All right, I can walk by myself, don't pull me. Chapter 55. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The battle was a battle, and the battle was a battle. Just as Nara Hikari came to the island and lived a leisurely life, the war for plundering resources and fighting for territory suddenly fell into a stalemate. Konoha's counterattack began. The leader of the Iron Country Samurai joined forces with the Kage-level strongman Marino Izumi, a student of the Fire Country Hiruzen, to launch a large-scale counterattack against the armies of the Rain Country and the Lightning Country, Zhongping Valley. In the Iron Country, dozens of ninjas from the Fire Country and the Rain Country met here again. One side wore a Konoha leaf forehead protector, and the other side wore a Rain Ninja Rainwater forehead protector. It was the ninjas from the Fire Country Konoha Ninja Village and the Rain Country Rain Ninja Village. We meet again, Izumi, Sano Matanaji. I didn't expect that you, the Rain Country, would dare to tear up the non-aggression agreement of the Iron Country and take the initiative to launch a war against the Iron Country. This is our Rain Country's business. and it seems that we don't need an outsider like you to comment on it. You were lucky to leave last time, but you can't leave this time. Really? It's not certain who will die this time. Marino Izumi draws out his ninja sword, Kage-level chakra quickly attaches to it, chain of torture. At the moment when Marino Izumi draws out his ninja sword and gets ready, 5 metal chains with Kage-level chakra attached to them are thrown out from his left hand. The chains with chakra attached to them, like pythons, entangle Sano Matanagi in the air. Sano Matanagi takes off the eye patch on his right eye. The transplanted Byakugan is revealed. Byakugan, Kage-level chakra gathers towards the Byakugan, and the surrounding eye nerves and chakra meridians swell instantly. The colorful image in Sano Mataki's right pupil instantly turned black and white. The attack trajectory of the 5 flying chains was calculated in his mind. Just as Marino Izumi's chains were about to approach him, Sano Mataki quickly swung out the sickle in his hand, blocked the 5 chains, and then attacked Izumi. The Byakugan had already formulated several suitable attack routes for him. Sano Mataki chose the fastest one. He grabbed the rope of the sickle with his left hand and swung the sickle blade at Izumi with his right hand. Marino Izumi raised his ninja sword and chopped it on the sickle blade, which bounced back a little and changed the attack trajectory. Marino Izumi lowered his body and stabbed Sano Mataki with the ninja sword in his hand from bottom to top. Mori family sword technique, fire separation. A layer of fire attribute chakra instantly covered the ninja sword swung by Marino Izumi. When he swung the sharp blade, the flames from the blade of the ninja sword rushed directly to Sano Mataki. Sano Mataki's body dodged the flames at an incredible angle in the air, and at the same time, he swung the sickle in his hand towards Izumi again. The sound of weapons colliding rang out around the two of them. The shadow-level chakra swept around, and the stone walls of the valley were scratched with long marks by the sword energy. In a few minutes, the weapons in the hands of the two had collided dozens of times. There was no winner. Although this encounter seemed to be a draw, Sano Mataki's chakra consumption was greater than Marino Izumi's when he opened his eyes. If the fight continued, Sano Mataki felt a little bad. Just when Sano Mataki was thinking about whether to retreat, he suddenly found that Marino Izumi's eyes were looking elsewhere. There were the subordinates they brought, and they were already fighting each other at this time. Screams and the sound of weapons colliding could be heard from time to time in the valley. Marino Izumi, who was fighting, was observing the battle situation around him. You dare to be distracted while fighting with me? After Sano Mataki taunted, he seized the opportunity to counterattack quickly. Secret technique, 10 form slash. Sano Mataki calculated the remaining chakra and prepared to fight quickly. At this time, he had to use the weapon secret technique of the Sano family. As soon as he finished speaking, the sickle blade began to deform. It split into 2 in the middle and became 2 sickles. Sano Mataki grabbed the 2 sides and began to rotate. 2 black balls were thrown out by Sano Mataki. After landing, black smoke rose and spread rapidly around. Marino Izumi looked at the black smoke spreading rapidly in front of him. It was because of this black smoke that he was careless last time. Fortunately, he was prepared this time and took out a green pill and threw it into his mouth. However, the black smoke was not only poisonous, but also blocked Marino Izumi's sight. However, Marino Izumi had fought with Sano Mataki once. Sano Mataki's methods were considered to be partially seen. Just as Seno Izumi had taken the pill, a whirring sound came from the black smoke. Seno Izumi fled to the side by instinct. A spinning sickle.it flew close to his face. Puff, the flying sickle turned into black smoke and disappeared. At this moment, another sickle of Sano Mataki also flew over, and it was spinning faster. After Marino Izumi stretched out his ninja sword to split the sickle, he jumped up. There were several more detonating tags in his hand. He flipped his hand and the detonating tags with chakra input flew into the black smoke. Boom boom boom. A series of explosions blew away the surrounding black smoke a little. However, the black smoke was very strange, as if it had suction, and the black smoke would close immediately after it dispersed. But this violent explosion was not without effect. The black smoke faded a little. Sano Mataki lost the cover of the black smoke and was completely exposed to Marino Izumi's sight. Found you. Marino Izumi raised his ninja sword and moved quickly towards Sano Mataki. Sano Mataki suddenly felt bad, and he realized that all his tricks had been discovered. While his chakra was being consumed seriously, Marino Izumi had already approached, and did not give him any chance to recover. after throwing a piece of chakra-attached ninja tool, Marino Izumi finally got close to Sano Mataki. Secret technique. Torture room. A cage composed of shadow-level chakra appeared under the feet of Marino Izumi and Sano Mataki. Kill. Several sharp blades pierced Sano Mataki's body. Puff. Sano Mataki turned into black smoke and disappeared. Marino Izumi sensed the surroundings, and there was no chakra fluctuation of Sano Mataki at all. Run away. Marino Izumi took out the recovery pill and stuffed it into his mouth, quickly regulating the consumed chakra. As Sano Mataki left the battlefield, other ninjas from the Rain Country also left one after another. Other ninjas from Konoha also came to Marino Izumi. Captain, do you want to chase him? Sano Matanagi's ability is special after all. Let's go back to the camp first and take the bodies of other companions. Yes, Captain. The surviving Konoha ninjas cleaned up the battlefield, and the lightly injured supported each other and slowly stood up. After the group finished cleaning up, they followed Marino Izumishi and left. After the Battle of Tsuboya in the Iron Country, Marino Izumishi's name resounded throughout the ninja world. Marino Izumishi of the Konoha Marino clan successfully attracted the attention of other forces. Marino Izumishi not only broke through to the level of Kage, but also possessed swordsmanship that the Marino family had never learned, and Hiruzen was very pleased to receive the news. On the other hand, Marino Izumishi received a secret intelligence after returning to the camp. Hanzo saw that the Iron Country's attack was slow, so he went to the Iron Country himself. Marino Izumishi really wanted to try how strong this guy who claimed to be the new god of the ninja world was, and today Marino Izumishi's camp was very lively. The leader of the Iron Country came to the camp of Marino Izumi with his subordinates. Izumi, we haven't seen each other for a long time. The leader of the Iron Country was very enthusiastic. Leader. Marino Izumi nodded. I came here to find you this time, and we are going to deal with Hanzo and his group who are coming. Okay. Chapter 56. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The explosion was so intense that the enemy was about to explode. Boom. Just as the Iron Country leader was discussing with Seno Izumi about how to resist Hanzo, an explosion outside attracted the attention of everyone in the camp. What's going on? Go out and have a look. Seno Izumi disappeared in the camp in an instant. He used the instant body technique to arrive at the location where the explosion came from. He saw two people emitting powerful chakra fluctuations fighting in the distance. Who is that? Seno Izumi's guard team, the Iron Country leader, the leader's two generals, and a group of Iron Country warriors also arrived here, curiously watching the fierce battle in the distance. His name is Kato Dan. Kato Dan. He is the disciple of the Konoha advisor. Advisor? Konoha Kuriko. Hiss. As soon as Marino Izumi's voice fell, the leader of the Iron Country took a breath. Konoha Kuriko is a popular figure in the ninja world in the past decade. The leader of the Iron Country has naturally heard of it. The Konoha ninja standing behind Marino Izumi showed proud expressions, but then they thought that the advisor had left the village, and the pride that had just risen turned into loss and resentment. Is it the Konoha Kuriko who pacified the last ninja world war alone? There was still a questioning voice behind the leader of the Iron Country. Marino Izumi's eyes swept over. He is the new general of the Iron Country, Mifune. The Iron Country hurriedly introduced him. Marino Izumi remembered the name, and then stopped paying attention. The battle in the distance has entered a white-hot stage. The surrounding environment destroyed by ninjutsu showed the intensity of the battle in the distance. Where did this little brat come from who is so strong? Hanzo stepped on his summoning beast, the salamander, and looked at Kato Dan on the opposite side. His brows were furrowed. After this period of fruit development, Kato Dan's own strength has reached the threshold of the super shadow level. He has his own unique insights into the soul's soul fruit given by Nara Hikaru, and the direction of development combined with his spiritualization has come to another realm. Every time Hanzo fights with him, he will feel that the chakra in his body is consumed a lot. If it weren't for the blessing of the summoning beast salamander, Hanzo might have fallen. Behind now, this made Hanzo a little confused. Summoning technique. Hanzo bit his left finger and moved it to his right palm, then pressed it on the ground. Purple mist rose instantly. When the purple mist dissipated, 3 fish summoning beasts of different colors appeared in front of him. This scene shocked everyone watching the battle, because all 3 summoned beasts have Kage-level chakra fluctuations bursting out. They really couldn't think of how this new Konoha strongman could resist. Hanzo, who has 4 Kage level summoned beasts and his own strength has reached the limit of Kage level, but the next scene that happened shocked them again. 4 figures also appeared beside Kato Dan. And each of them also emitted Kage level chakra fluctuations, although the chakra fluctuations were not as strong as Hanzo's summoned beasts, but it also made the spectators feel uneasy. The next battle overturned everyone's cognition, the 4 homies around Kato Dan. They rushed towards Hanzo quickly. Ice escape secret technique, ice crystal 1000 killing water flying. When one of the homies approached Hanzo, he raised one hand and stretched out 2 fingers in front of his mouth. The Kage level ice chakra in his body surged rapidly, and 1,000 books composed of ice crystals shot towards Hanzo. This scene made Hanzo stunned for a moment. Bloodline limit. Hanzo was even more confused, but his hands did not slow down. After quickly forming a seal, a black salamander floating on the side opened its mouth and sprayed out a poisonous mist. Poisonous mist spray. Hanzo formed a seal again, and a ball of purple mist burst out from his body, mixed with the poisonous mist of the salamander, and turned into a poisonous snake flying towards the ice-style homies. Fire style, Phoenix Phosphorus Fire. Just as the poisonous mist released by Hanzo was about to approach the ice-style homies, another homies opened his mouth and spewed out a flame. The flames that swept hundreds of meters around hit the poisonous mist and exploded. Instantly. Did you succeed? Hanzo's eyes were fixed on that side. Swoosh, a sound of wind sounded behind Hanzo's body. Hanzo had no time to check, so he could only quickly lower his head. With years of combat experience, Hanzo avoided this dangerous attack. Earth style, digging and excavating. The 4th homies used the instant body technique to come to the other side of Hanzo, and quickly formed seals with both hands. Just after Hanzo dodged the attack of the homies who were good at close combat, he suddenly felt a ball of chakra burst under his feet. It had the momentum to break through the ground. Hanzo disappeared on the spot with 4 salamanders. Physical technique, 2-stage slash of sickle. Hanzo threw out the sickle in his hand, and the sickle began to rotate around his body. Poison burial. Then Hanzo activated the shadow level chakra, activated the poison sac in his body, and a large amount of poison gas emanated from his body. Mixed with the shadow level chakra, it became substantial and enveloped the 4 homies. Kato Dan saw that the poison gas was about to cover his homies. With a wave of his hand, several jonin level homies appeared around. The fruit power was activated and injected into the body of the senior ninja homies. Several homies turned into souls and rushed towards Hanzo. Hanzo waved his sickle to resist the close attack of these homies. He was extremely shocked in his heart. Not bad, not bad. You are the most bizarre ninja I have seen so far. I hope you can hold on a little longer next time. Hanzo admired Kato Dan's ability very much and was very competitive. Poisonous area. The 4 salamander summoned beasts around Hanzo released 4 colors of poisonous fog at the same time. It enveloped the surroundings at a very fast speed. The people who were watching the battle hurriedly retreated. They did not stop until they retreated several kilometers away. Izumi, is that person really from Konoha? Yes. Marino Izumi realized what the leader of the Iron Country was going to ask. It's strange that such a powerful person is unknown in your Konoha. Mifune was also very uneasy. Is this the true strength of Konoha? Because it was too far away, the battle between Hanzo and Kato Dan was no longer visible to everyone, but everyone did not plan to leave, because they knew that the outcome of this battle would determine the direction of the next war between the Rain Country and the Iron Country. If the strong man of Konoha won, the Rain Country might need to end the war against the Iron Country in advance. The battle did not make them wait too long. Kato Dan returned to Marino Izumi. Hanzo escaped. How are you? Marino Izumi looked at the pale Kato Dan. Chakra consumption is quite serious. I'll leave it to you. Hanzo is seriously injured. This is the best chance to kill him. Okay. Kato Dan disappeared instantly. Marino Izumi watched Kato Dan leave. Let's go. Let's chase him. Yes. Marino Izumi led the Konoha ninjas and jumped up and ran towards the ruins in the distance. P.S. If you think it's okay, please leave a comment and give some free gifts to support it. I write a little slowly, but I have revised each chapter many times. I really tried my best. Chapter 57. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The battle was over, and the battle was over. The Nara family on the nameless island. Teacher, Hanzo has been repelled. Yeah. Teacher, why don't you let me kill him? Kato Dan recalled the whole process of the battle. Although Hanzo's strength is much stronger than he thought, but in front of his current strength, it is still possible to kill Hanzo with some effort, but before leaving, teacher Nara Hikari repeatedly emphasized that now is not the time to kill Hanzo. This made Kato Dan very confused. He has other arrangements. Nara Hikari looked at Kato Dan. Recalling that Kato Lingye once told him about their life experiences, do you want revenge? Kato Dan did not immediately answer Nara Hikari's words, but just clenched his fists. The news sent back by Lu Shang said that Lei Si, the Thunder Eagle Guard of the Thunder Country, appeared in the Bird Country. He disappeared for so many years and now he finally appeared. You can go and complete what you want to complete. Thank you, teacher. Kato Dan disappeared instantly, just as Nara Hikari lowered his head and continued to look through the information sent back. Sarutobi Biwako walked in. Guan, I want to talk to you. Okay. Nara Hikari stood up from the chair and quickly came to Sarutobi Biwako. He gently supported the latter. You are running around with such a big belly. Didn't I tell you to lie down? It's okay, I'm not that fragile. Sarutobi Biwako said this, but a look of emotion appeared on his face. Thank you. My Biwako wife actually ran to thank me with a big belly. Nara Hikari hurriedly looked out the window. The sun rises from the east. Nara Hikari said as he looked around. Sarutobi Biwako raised his hand and patted Nara Hikari. Be serious, thank you so much. I don't know what you are talking about. Nara Hikari helped Sarutobi Biwako to sit on the chair where he had Saturday. Tachibana has already told me. What did she say? You didn't bring back Kato Dan, Hirako, Tsunade, Hideyoshi, and Hataki Sakuya. She told you all this. I'll deal with this girl later. Kato Dan defeated Hanzo. I think the war between the Land of Rain and Konoha will not last too long. It can be regarded as a relief for Konoha. I thank you on behalf of Hiruzen. Okay, let's not talk about that as a family, although I have a lot of opinions about Hiruzen, but after all, it is something that my aunt entrusted to me. Well, I'm tired, I'll go back first. I'll see you off. No, you can do your own thing. I'll go see Chang. She may be about to give birth. Don't forget to find time to see her. Well, I'll go in a while. After watching Sarutobi Biwako leave, Nara Hikari turned his consciousness to the system. Congratulations to the host Nara Shuri for giving birth to a child, and obtaining the two-dimensional character Akame Spirit, from the red eyes of the killing, carrying the imperial weapon Murasame. Nara Hikari didn't expect another character reward, extract, There was no familiar white light around, there were no energy ripples around, no, if it weren't for Nara Hikari's body suddenly dispersing a trace of energy, he almost thought the extraction failed, closed his eyes and savored the changes in his body. This was another extremely special energy entering his body. It began to flow through the meridians in his body autonomously. Then a girl wearing a JK black short skirt, a sleeveless high-necked black shirt, and a red tie appeared in front of Nara Hikari in the strong wind. The black and red intertwined energy whirlwind pushed the surrounding furniture away. Nara Hikari looked at the girl made of energy body not far away, which was quickly solidifying. Just when the girl just became a physical body, Nara Hikari stopped the energy operation. The girl instantly turned into energy and returned to Nara Hikari's body. Can you possess me? Nara Hikari released the girl again. He looked at the long sword at her waist. It was one of the 48 imperial tools in the red eyes. Murasame, is this the imperial tool Murasame? Yes, master. Can you show it to me? Red Eyes took off the long sword and handed it to Nara Hikari. After Nara Hikari took it, he looked at it carefully. Each imperial tool contains powerful power. It can give a melee warrior long-range magic ability. Nara Hikari, after activating the new energy and trying it, he found that the weapon in his hand was no different from an ordinary weapon. He had to give up. I'll give it back to you. Nara Hikari handed the weapon back. Akaheim took it and put it back on her waist. Nara Hikari released her perception and felt the strength of the energy in Akaheim's body, another existence that is infinitely close to the six paths. This is the fourth person rewarded by Nara Hikari. Lu Jingo, Sentinel, and Denise are still lying quietly in the system's storage space. You go back too. Akaheim turned into energy and disappeared on the spot. after checking the characters rewarded this time, Nara Hikari left the room and walked towards the back mountain of the Nara family. Soon a 3-story building appeared in sight. This kind of small building is still easy to build in the hands of a ninja with earth attribute chakra. Nara Hikari named this place Gwanga. All the old Umbu members who followed Nara Hikari out of Konoha were settled in this new place. The Light Pavilion not only collects information about the ninja world for Nara Hikari, but is also a place similar to the Gold Exchange. The network of relationships developed over the past 10 years has not allowed these members to be idle after leaving Konoha. Nara Hikari has his own way of operation. Because of the high completion rate of Nara Hikari's former Umbu members, former clients will still contact Nara Hikari. Of course, the reward remains the same. In addition, some killing tasks will be accepted here. The targets range from Genin to Kage. Mr. Hikari, a senior ninja who had just received the task, was walking out of the task hall and happened to meet Nara Hikari, who came here. Yeah, the body of the senior ninja who was about to leave stopped. Mr. Hikari, a strange person came here and wants to exchange the bounty. Strange person? Yes, Mr. Hikari, this person is wearing a mask, and by the way, he has a pair of green eyes. Green eyes? Nara Hikari recalls the people with green eyes in the Naruto world. A familiar person appears in his mind. Is he here? Where is he now? In the mission hall. Okay, go get busy. Yes, Master Hikari. The jonin disappeared on the spot. Nara Hikari walked towards the mission hall with curiosity. Entering the hall, he saw a familiar figure standing in front of the bar. He looked at Tachibana. Do you want to exchange the bounty? The figure who was looking at Tachibana turned his head when he heard the words, "It's really you." The familiar figure and eyes of the person in front of him are exactly the Akatsuki member of the Naruto world who values money above all else, Kakuzu. Chapter 58. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The first sentence of Kakuzu almost broke Nara Hikari's defense. For a Kage, there can be many hobbies and things that he likes. This guy just likes money, and he likes making money, not spending money. With a long life, he could have relied on his strength to make money in the simplest way, but he chose the most common way, which was to kill the strong to satisfy his desire and exchange their bodies for money. Kakuzu took out a scroll in front of Nara Hikari, and after inputting Kage level chakra, the scroll opened automatically. Corpses flew out of the scroll one by one. Nara Hikari looked down at the corpses appearing in the white mist. A quick glance revealed no familiar figures. Who are these? Bear Country Jounin Full Moon, Bird Country Jounin Torikatsu, Water Country Jounin Midway. Nara Hikari looked at the 5 neatly laid corpses on the ground. It can be higher than other places, but I have a condition. Speak. Join here. Join. Kakuzu was stunned. I refuse. If I don't get the satisfactory price I want, I will kill everyone here, including her. Do you want her to die for you? Kakuzu narrowed his eyes, glanced at Nara Hikari, and pointed at Tachibana sitting at the bar. Her. Nara Hikari looked at Kakuzu, then at Tachibana. You are quite confident. I dare to be the god of ninja world. Okay, if you can beat her, not only will you get the highest bounty for these corpses, but the corpses you bring in the future will also be doubled. Are you serious? Of course, why would I lie to you, provided you can beat her? Nara Hikari pointed at Tachibana, who was sitting there and smiling. Okay, go outside. Before leaving, Kakuzu did not forget to pick up the bodies on the ground, and then disappeared on the spot. Tachibana and Nara Hikari also disappeared in the hall. They came to an open area. It's time to start. Nara Hikari said and flew into the air, looking at the two of them from a high place. Kakuzu was stunned for a moment when he saw Nara Hikari flying away, but then he thought of Nara Hikari's name, and stopped talking and looked at Tachibana. Little girl, you have to be careful, you will die if you are not careful. As a veteran Kage-level strongman who can live for so long, Kakuzu relies not only on strength, there is also caution. He naturally felt Tachibana's chakra fluctuations. Kakuzu was not going to waste time, he was going to use his full strength directly. The wrists of both hands were broken, and a large number of black blood vessels gushed out like tentacles, which flew in the air. Wind escape, suppress harm. A black body composed of tentacles suddenly appeared on Kakuzu's right, and the mask covering the middle opened its mouth and chakra quickly condensed, and then a violent wind rushed out. Tachibana just watched quietly as this wind-type ninjutsu that tore through the air attacked him. Kakuzu narrowed his eyes, not knowing what tricks the person on the other side was playing. Why stood still? Was he underestimating him? But just when this ninjutsu was about to hit Tachibana's body suddenly moved, so fast, Kakuzu's pupils shrank, and he was still admiring Tachibana's amazing speed, but Tachibana had disappeared from his sight. Kakuzu's pair of green eyes began to turn, looking for Tachibana's figure. Puff, but just when he was about to lock on to a trace of chakra fluctuations, he suddenly felt a pain in his abdomen. His body flew to one side involuntarily, a powerful force kicked him hard on the waist. At this moment, Tachibana, who was wrapped in the chakra released by the tailless-tailed beast gene, also appeared in his sight. Before Kakuzu could wonder why Tachibana was so fast, he was kicked in the ribs on the other side again. Kakuzu flew in another direction again. Earth escape, earth spear. Kakuzu forced himself to stabilize his body in the air, controlling the mask with earth attribute chakra, first covering his body with earth attribute chakra, and then condensing earth attribute chakra into a spear in his hand. He stared at the changes around him with full concentration. Soon he locked onto a trace of chakra fluctuations. He threw the earth spear in his hand empty. The earth spear did not hit Tachibana, and at the moment when he was puzzled, his body was kicked again. Kakuzu, that I want to curse. How can I fight at this speed? Water escape, water curtain tent, lightning escape, pseudo-darkness, combined ninjutsu, light spear. Kakuzu had to use his best skills, combination ninjutsu. The ninjutsu composed of water and lightning flew quickly towards Tachibana. Kakuzu's pupils shrank again, because he saw something incredible. I saw a red chakra coat on Tachibana's body. Tailed beast transformation. Kakuzu, who was well informed, naturally recognized what it was. There was no tail extending from behind Tachibana, there was just a layer of red chakra covering the outside of the body. At the moment when Kakuzu wanted to curse, Tachibana disappeared from his sight again. Earth grudge mode. Kakuzu's body was completely separated in an instant, then it quickly grew larger and taller. The limbs and head were connected by black tentacles. Soon, a tall monster connected by black tentacles appeared in the same place. Bang! This time, Tachibana kicked Kakuzu, but the latter did not fly up. Instead, he did not move at all. Nara Hikari had to look at him with new eyes. The Kakuzu here was much stronger than the original Naruto world. Nara Hikari sensed that although the current Kakuzu was young, he already had the chakra of the intermediate level of Kage. When Tachibana saw the changes in Kakuzu, her eyes quickly turned deep red, and her pupils turned into black vertical stripes. The color of the outer chakra coat became more red. It faintly turned into a ball of fire. Swoosh! A sound of breaking through the air sounded, and Tachibana rushed towards Kakuzu quickly. This time the speed was faster. Bang! The force of the kick on Kakuzu was stronger. K. Kakuzu flew out again. At this time, he could no longer stabilize his body, and his body was kicked by Tachibana repeatedly. Kakuzu simply gave up on defense. The figure formed by 5 tentacles behind him flew in all directions, then he turned around in the air and rushed towards Tachibana. 5 masks simultaneously condensed 5 attributes of chakra in their mouths. Seeing this, Tachibana turned the chakra in her hand into an energy blade and stabbed at one of the masks. Puff! As a mask was destroyed, Kakuzu's body shook, and his chest immediately hurt. Puff! Another mask was shattered. Okay, no more fighting. Seeing that Tachibana was about to destroy the last mask, Kakuzu shouted hurriedly. Tachibana's hand stopped in front of the last mask. You've been fooled. Kakuzu's mouth cracked, and the tentacles quickly wrapped around Tachibana. Bang! Tachibana, who was wrapped in the tentacles, turned into white mist, and Kakuzu felt a pain in the back of his head. The body flew out again. Chapter 59. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were fighting, Kakuzu fell heavily to the ground. Tachibana came behind Kakuzu, pointed the energy blade made of the chakra in her body at the back of Kakuzu's head. Are you still fighting? Nara Hikari came in front of Kakuzu and looked at the latter lying on the ground in a mess. I'm not her opponent. Kakuzu lay on the ground and didn't move. He didn't have the strength to get up at this time. The chakra had been consumed as the mask was broken. Can you join now? Yes. Kakuzu replied weakly. Tachibana took away the energy blade, and Kakuzu sat up on the spot, right in front of Nara Hikari. He began to recover the consumed chakra. the black tentacles on Kakuzu's body flew out, connected the broken masks on the ground, and retracted them into his body. Kakuzu took out the scroll chakra input, and the 5 corpses from the jonin appeared again. Then the tentacles stretched out and stabbed towards the heart of the corpse, but it was blocked by Nara Hikari. I will give you something better, don't want these. Huh. Kakuzu, who was recovering, was stunned for a moment. Nara Hikari took out a devil fruit from his space. Its name is devil fruit. Eating it can gain a power similar to blood limit. Devil fruit. Kakuzu was even more confused. Kakuzu took the devil fruit handed over by Nara Hikari, looking at it in his hand. This is a fruit like a gummy. Does it have a name? The Superman-type gummy fruit can turn your body into gummy, bounce back physical attacks, and turn parts of your body into gummy. The hardness of the gummy can be freely controlled. A layer of chakra is attached to the surface of the gummy, which can make the gummy as hard as metal and can attack and defend. However, you need to develop the fruit ability yourself. As long as your imagination is rich enough, the gummy can be transformed into any shape. When your fruit awakens, it can even change the surrounding terrain and turn it into a gummy world. As soon as Nara Hikari finished speaking, Kakuzu was stunned. Is there such a thing in this world? Kakuzu looked back at the fruit in his hand. He took a bite. It didn't taste good, it wasn't very juicy either. Kakuzu swallowed the candle-like flesh in his mouth. Just as he wanted to take a second bite, a ball of energy exploded in his body. The chakra consumed by his body before was replenished by this energy and recovered rapidly. Kakuzu continued to bite. He quickly ate up a fruit. Nara Hikaru looked at Kakuzu, who was eating voraciously. What a ruthless man. Let me see your ability. Okay, Kakuzu first turned his hands into gummy bears, then changed them into various weapon shapes. Then he turned his entire body into gummy bears and crawled on the ground for a distance. He crawled in through a tiny crack, then he crawled out from another crack. Then Kakuzu flew into the air and crashed into a rock not far away. Bang! The hard rock was shattered into powder. Then the gummy bears gathered together and turned into Kakuzu's appearance again. Kakuzu looked at his hands. Roar. Roar, this feeling is so good. Kakuzu looked at Tachibana again. Come on, let's fight again. Okay. Tachibana agreed. Soon the two began to fight again. Kakuzu's adaptability was super strong, and in just a short while, he had already mastered the ability of the fruit. It will also turn surrounding objects into gummy candies and attack Tachibana unexpectedly. It caught Tachibana off guard a few times, but the result was good. Kakuzu still lay on the ground. The ability of the fruit needs to be developed slowly. You just got the ability and haven't spent time to adapt yet. Yeah. Kakuzu stood up. From now on, you will be responsible for the bounty of the Light Pavilion. Yes. Go ahead. Kakuzu glanced at Tachibana and disappeared instantly. Tachibana walked to Nara Hikari. This guy's information records that he is a rebel ninja from Takigakure village. Why did you accept him into the Light Pavilion? He has many uses. No one can match him in making money, and his strength is also okay. I don't think he is that powerful. Although the Earth Grudge is immortal, there is a limit to his improvement. 5 hearts sounds powerful, and he has 5 lives, but he can attack at the same time in one battle. If you break his 5 hearts or destroy all his chakra veins, he will surely die. Earth resentment you. The forbidden technique of Takigakure. Oh, he is different now. I'm going back. There are still many things to do. Well, I'll find you in the evening. Okay. Tachibana left. 5 days later, a shocking news spread in the ninja world. The Nara clan, a former family of the Hidden Leaf Village, founded a country called the Kingdom of Light was established on an uninhabited island. After the news spread, the attention of all forces shifted here, when they learned that it was the family of the legendary ninja of Konoha, the Black Light of Konoha, Nara Hikari. All forces calmed down again, then each country sent out the Umbu to prepare to obtain some intelligence about this new country. But when the scouts arrived here, they found sadly that this new country was actually on the island. Everyone looked at the vast sea helplessly, and finally left with reluctance and curiosity. The Hidden Leaf Village of Light. Today's family meeting is to select a daimyo of the Kingdom of Light. Who are your candidates? Needless to say, of course it's Nara Hikari. A clan member shouted. No, 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 I don't want to be the daimyo, I suggest that the clan leader should be the daimyo Nara Hikari, who was sitting in the front, heard someone nominating him and hurriedly stood up to refuse. He didn't want to be a daimyo. Hitachi, I think. Uncle, you come. I don't know how to manage the country, but I don't know how either. Then you are still the clan leader, fourth grandpa, please say something. Nara Hikari looked at Narashima, who was thinking with his eyes closed. Oh, Nara Mitsuru is a good choice. The most prestigious Narashima of the family spoke, and everyone finally unanimously decided that Nara Mitsuru would be the first daimyo of the Land of Light. Nara Hikari had no objection. The choice of daimyo was decided casually. Next was the choice of the Kage of the Hidden Light Village. Someone wanted to jump out and recommend Nara Hikari, but Nara Hikari glared back. The man shrank his neck and sat back angrily. I think Nara Yuro is suitable. Just as everyone was scanning all the Kage-level strongmen of the Nara family, a voice sounded in the corner. Everyone looked over after hearing it. It was Nara Ki who spoke. In addition to Nara Hikari, the second strongest person in the Nara family, Nara Yuro, who was sitting in the back, was stunned after hearing it. No, I'm not suitable, let's choose someone else. Nara Yuro hurriedly shook his head, shaking his head like a rattle. Why not let Nara Shikahira be the Kage? Me? An inconspicuous Nara tribe member looked up at Nara Wu in confusion. Nara Hikari also looked over. He was not very familiar with Nara Shikahira, but Nara Hikari was very familiar with the little boy next to Nara Shikahira. It was Nara Shikaku, the future leader of Konoha's Jonin squad. Chapter 60. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were very happy. I am not suitable, or, Nara Shikahai looked around the hall, but no one looked at him. You can be the shadow. Just when Nara Shikahai wanted to refuse, Nara Sima spoke again. Today, Nara Shikahai will be the first shadow of the Hidden Light Village. All the clan members were shocked, and they raised their heads and applauded as if relieved. Nara Sima looked at his clan members and shook his head helplessly. The Nara family is really the same. Nara Hikari also had to sigh that the Nara clan really didn't like trouble, as long as it required mental labor. No Nara clan member liked to do it. Okay, Lu Ping, you will take office tomorrow. I will select 2 people to assist you. Nara Mitsuru glanced around. The Nara clan members who had just breathed a sigh of relief lowered their heads again in an instant. They just didn't look at Nara Mitsuru. They looked like you could find anyone you wanted. Nara Hikari just watched the Nara family casually decide on the candidate for the Kage. The remaining Kage-level members of the Nara family all became elders of the Hikari village, and were considered the first generation of high-level officials of the Hikari village. Nara Hikari served as the head of the Hikari pavilion in the Hikari village. Nara Wu served as the principal of the ninja school that was about to be established in the Hikari village. All the senior ninjas of the Nara family took turns to serve as teachers in the ninja school and the team leaders in charge of graduating students. The Hikari village was officially established. Then Nara Hikari made a series of arrangements. First, merging the orphanage with the ninja school, let them go to school and grow together with the children of the Nara family and the children of ordinary families, so as to integrate into the kingdom of light more quickly. The four-tailed Jinchuriki Xiaowen followed Chang to learn how to control the tailed beasts. Occasionally, he would also handle reception tasks with Tachibana. Then Hitaki Sakumo, Nishido, and Silbai were appointed by Nara Hikari as deputy heads of the Hikari Pavilion in Hikari Village. Their power in Hikari Pavilion is second only to Nara Hikari. Next came the old Umbu members who followed Nara Hikari here. Special jonins are divided into groups of 3 to follow a jonin to carry out commission tasks in various places. For more difficult commission tasks, Hikari Pavilion will arrange 3 jonins and 1 elite jonin to complete them. For commission tasks involving the Kage level, the Kage level strongmen of Hikari Pavilion will take action. He also made arrangements for the families that followed Nara Hikari to the Land of Light: Uzumaki, Senju, Hyuga, Uchiha, Sarutobi, Inazuka, Karama, Abirame, Hitaki, Yuhi, Udatane, Haruno. These large and small families, although some only have a part, Nara Hikari still suggested selecting a representative to join the Elders' Council. Children in the family will also go to the ninja school to study, but Nara Hikari will not make any special arrangements. Special jonin and above can choose freely. In addition to entering the ninja school as a teacher or a teacher leading the graduates, they can also enter the intelligence department, life department, medical department, and combat department of the Light Pavilion, but there are exceptions. You just said you are going to Kakuzu's gold exchange office. Nara Hikari couldn't believe his ears, someone actually wanted to go there. Currently, there is only Kakuzu in the gold exchange office set up by the light pavilion. Unexpectedly, another person appeared now, a genius ninja of the Aburame clan, Aburame Shursho of the same generation as Tsunade and others. When the Aburame clan contracts a bug, they will keep the type of bug as a lifetime secret. Even the closest ones will not reveal it. Nara Hikari didn't know what kind of bug Aburame Shursho contracted. But he had seen Aburame Shursho take action. It was a poisonous insect, and it looked very similar to the destructive power of the phosphorus bug. However, the phosphorus bug was purple, and the insect of Jixiang was dark green. Yes, Guang brother. Tell me why you want to go there. I got a new kind of insect, but it's too expensive to raise them. I can't afford it anymore. The money I saved in Guang brothers' umbu during those years has been almost spent. I want to find someone who can make money quickly. How much money do you need? I have it here. Guang brother, I don't want to rely on others' charity. Ah. Charity. Can you talk? Nara Hikari shone on Aburame Jixiang's head and his brain burst. Ouch, Guang brother, be gentle. Should I tell Tian Wei? No, don't tell my sister, I'm afraid she'll worry. Okay then. Thank you, Guang brother. Aburame Jixiang turned around and was about to leave. Wait a minute. What happened to Guang brother again? Oil girl ambition, turning his head helplessly, Nara Hikari was searching in the space. Soon a devil fruit was taken out by Nara Hikari. Aburame Shursho looked at the thing in Nara Hikari's hand in confusion. Is this a fruit? Its name is devil fruit. Devil fruit. If you eat it, you will get a power similar to the power of bloodline limit. What? Aburame Shursho was shocked when he heard it, bloodline limit. The Aburame clan has been dealing with bugs all their lives. Bugs are a kind of ninjutsu for them, but after all, they are just bugs. If they are restricted from playing, the Aburame clan will not have time to release the bugs, which is still very dangerous. You will get a bloodline limit after eating it, which can't help but surprise Aburame Shursho. Its full name is Animal System Bug Fruit Butterfly form. Among the many devil fruits obtained by Nara Hikari, there are really not many bug fruits. Only two. The other one is the animal-type bug fruit bee form, which was given to his wife Aburame Tada by Nara Hikari, butterfly. Aburame Shursho was a little confused. He didn't understand what this meant. Eat it. You can grow a pair of butterfly wings. These wings can be put back into the body, and extend from the body when needed, so that you have the ability to fly. It also has many characteristics, and those abilities need to be developed by yourself. As long as your imagination is rich enough, you can exert the maximum ability. Nara Hikari said and handed the fruit over. Aburame Shursho took the fruit handed over by Nara Hikari and pondered for a while. Butterfly is the most common, and you should know more about butterflies than I do. Nara Hikari looked at Aburame Shursho. Of course. Eat it. As soon as Nara Hikari finished speaking, Aburame Shursho took a bite. After tearing off a piece, he swallowed it directly. It's really unpalatable. Aburame Shursho shook his head. The development direction of the fruit is many, don't just limit it to flying. Got it, Hikaru. Go find Kakuzu and adapt to your abilities as soon as possible. Yes. Aburame Shursho said and turned away. Be careful. Yes, got it, Hikaru. Aburame Shursho disappeared instantly. After Aburame Shursho left, Nara Hikaru looked at the documents on the table. He found one of them, which was a piece of information sent back from the border of Wind Country. Hideyoshi was attacked by Sand Village, but Hideyoshi was not injured. Instead, he defeated the team composed of two strong men, Chiyo and Ebizo. However, this also angered the third Kazekage who was attacking Bird Country. The third Kazekage vowed to kill Hideyoshi. Chapter 61. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were in a mess, and the two were in a mess. The Konoha camp at the border of the river country. Lord Hideyoshi, a Konoha chunin, came behind Hideyoshi, looking at Hideyoshi sitting on a big rock. What's the matter? Hideyoshi said lightly. Lord Orochimaru asked you to go over. Yes, I know. After Hideyoshi finished speaking, He disappeared on the big rock. When Hideyoshi came to the tent where Orochimaru was, it was already full of people. Seeing Hideyoshi walk into the tent, everyone stood up quickly. They had seen the power of the man in front of them. He alone blocked the 500-man elite sand ninja force led by Chiyo, Ebizo, and Yi-Ching, 3 Kage-level strongmen from the sand village of Wind Country. He even killed several sand village jonin. He was like a stabilizing needle. Inserted in the only way from the Wind Country to Konoha, the sand village organized several attacks, but they were all blocked by this strong man. Anyone who saw Hideyoshi in the camp would respectfully call him, "Sir, Hideyoshi is here." Orochimaru's hoarse voice sounded in the tent, making people feel uncomfortable. "What's the matter?" Orochimaru knew Hideyoshi's character and didn't care, and the two of them were old acquaintances. After the third Kazekage handed over the battlefield of the bird country to the one-tailed Jinchuriki, he has already come to the river country. Yeah, Hideyoshi just hummed lightly. Orochimaru felt helpless. After Nara Hikaru left the village, the relationship in the village became very delicate. Orochimaru had long been accustomed to Hideyoshi's indifferent expression. At this time, Orochimaru had not yet reached the real rebellious period, and he still felt sorry for Konoha for missing so many strong people. Just when Orochimaru opened his mouth to discuss the battle plan with Hideyoshi, Hideyoshi disappeared in the tent with the instant body technique. Still so cool. Orochimaru stuck out his tongue and licked the corner of his mouth. He was very interested in Hideyoshi's ability to transform into a monster. "Do you want to follow, Lord Orochimaru?" "No need, he can handle it alone," Orochimaru said confidently, but, the jonin standing behind him wanted to speak, but Orochimaru turned his head unhappily. The jonin looked at Orochimaru's cold eyes and swallowed the words that were about to come out of his mouth. Sweat oozed from his forehead. "Just do what you should do, and don't ask about other things." "Yes." Orochimaru turned around and disappeared into the tent. The jonin breathed a sigh of relief. At the border of the river country and the wind country, at this time, a group of people were standing here. They were wearing gray combat uniforms and hourglass-shaped forehead protectors. They were the Kazekage and the Kazekage Umbu guards of the sand village. "Lord Kazekage, the Konoha camp is ahead. Everyone recover, and we will raid the Konoha camp tonight." "Yes." After saying that, the Kazekage sat on the rock. "Lord Kazekage, do you want to wait for support?" "Why are you afraid of death?" "No, Lord Kazekage." The jonin shook his head hurriedly. "What nonsense is that?" The Kazekage no longer paid attention to him, closed his eyes and began to adjust his chakra. Suddenly, a powerful chakra fluctuation appeared within the perception range. Magnetic release, detection. A ball of iron sand flew up from the Kazekage's side, and then filled his surroundings. It turned into several eyeballs to observe the surroundings. Just as the Kazekage was observing the surroundings, a figure walked into his perception range. Such a strong chakra fluctuation, no wonder he can stop Chiyo and others alone. The Kazekage was shocked, but the arrow was on the string and had to be shot. Magnetic release, sand iron rain. A large amount of iron sand appeared around the Kazekage and quickly covered the area. And the sand village ninjas he brought with him quickly left the place. "Roar!" Hideyoshi roared. His body began to change rapidly. His coat was instantly torn, and his strong muscles bulged. Soon, an ancient dinosaur more than 20 meters tall appeared in the sight of the Kazekage. "Roar!" Hideyoshi roared to the sky again, and the energy of the fruit on his body burst out, and the air waves generated swept around. The iron sand condensed by Fengying was blown away a little. Looking at Hideyoshi who had turned into a monster, Fengying's heart became heavy. What kind of secret technique is this? Before Fengying could figure out the doubts in his heart, Hideyoshi had already moved. What Hideyoshi ate was the animal system ancient species Spinosaurus form given by Nara Mitsuru. After several years of development, he has grown to an incredible height. Hideyoshi himself is a talented physical warrior, and this devil fruit is a good match. In the eyes of the Kazekage, Hideyoshi, whose body has grown to more than 20 meters, rushed forward and knocked away all the obstacles he passed by. He rushed towards him with great momentum. Magnetic escape, sand and iron attack. The iron sand that had just risen quickly turned into sharp blades of various shapes in the air, flying towards Hideyoshi. Hideyoshi's eyes were red, and he did not slow down even a little despite the sharp blades. The sharp blades formed by the iron sand did not leave any marks on Hideyoshi. All of them were easily blocked by Hideyoshi's steel-like skin. Magnetic escape, sand and iron boundary method. Magnetic escape, sand and iron defense. Seeing this, the Kazekage also knew that he would not be able to do it if he did not use all his strength. At this moment, he no longer cared about the consumption of chakra, and the iron sand rising around him became more and more dense. Iron sand kept changing its shape in the air. For big hands made of iron sand grabbed Hideyoshi, who was rushing towards him. Seeing this, Hideyoshi's muscles bulged instantly and he crashed directly into the big hands of iron sand. The big hands of iron sand were instantly shattered, but soon condensed again. Just as the big hands made of iron sand approached Hideyoshi again, 3 sand walls made of iron sand appeared in front of Hideyoshi. Magnetic escape, sand iron wall. The Kazekage used all his chakra to release the defensive iron sand ninjutsu, intended to block Hideyoshi's charge, but Hideyoshi still relied on his strong physique and ignored the blood limit ninjutsu of the Kazekage. As Hideyoshi approached, the Kazekage became more and more frightened. The sense of crisis in his heart became stronger and stronger. Bang! The last sand wall made of iron sand in front of the Kazekage was instantly shattered. At the same time, the Kazekage felt an incomparable and powerful force acting on him. The body flew out. Involuntarily, the third Kazekage opened his mouth wide, and his body could not stop retreating in the air until he smashed dozens of rocks and stopped. Hideyoshi in the distance did not stop, and still rushed towards the Kazekage. The Kazekage spit out a mouthful of blood, raised his bleeding face with difficulty, and looked at Hideyoshi, who rushed over next time. His eyes widened. Is he a monster? At this moment, the Kazekage deeply understood why Chiyo and others were stopped by one person. Before coming, the Kazekage was still a little disdainful, but now the pressure increased like a tsunami. The Kazekage had no time to think more, because Hideyoshi had come close again. He struggled to pull his body out of the rock. Unfortunately, the previous chakra consumption made him feel weak. He tried a few times and couldn't move his body at all. The Kazekage screamed and had to watch Hideyoshi hit him again. It's too big. This was the last thought of the third Kazekage before his body collapsed. There was only a pool of blood where the Kazekage had been. The body of the Kazekage was deeply embedded in the stone wall. Roar! Hideyoshi, covered in blood, roared. With the momentum of invincibility, he vented this crushing victory. Lord Kazekage! The people of Sand Village in the distance exclaimed as they looked at the Kazekage with his head down. Save Lord Kazekage! Someone shouted, and all the ninjas of Sand Village instantly left their original positions and rushed towards the roaring Hideyoshi. Hideyoshi looked at these enemies with red eyes. He raised his hand and waved. A strong airflow broke out of his body. These sand ninjas flew back at a faster speed than when they came. Bang, 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 they crashed into the surrounding stone walls and instantly lost their combat effectiveness. Hideyoshi glanced around, reached out and pulled the third Kazekage's body out of the stone wall, and disappeared from the spot in an instant.